What's up, everyone? I hope you guys are doing great. We are going to be going over some hip exercises that I do. I don't have my watch, but I have my phone, so I'll be using my timer here. We are going to be focusing on our hip, so let's go ahead and grab a box or bench. We're going to get started. You're going to elevate your leg on this bench or box. You're going to start your timer, and we're going to hold this for a static 1 minute. So I'm looking to get my shin in line with my thigh in terms of a 90-degree angle. If a box or bench is too high, you can always step your back like further back away. That will increase a little bit, but you can kind of lean into it. You can also bring your foot closer to your body or push your knee forward. The intention of this stretch is to help open up that hip joint and glute. So I'm going to go through a series of exercises that I use for myself in terms of my everyday routine, or every day that I go to the gym, we'll say. Even if I don't go to the gym, I try to make sure I include these into my routine. I sit a lot. I've done a lot of lifting over the years, and so making sure my hip mobility is great is a good cursor for me to know that my back is going to be safe. A lot of back issues that I have had, especially from sitting or driving long distances, have come from tight hips. So again, 1 minute, I call this an elevated pigeon. If you're sitting and holding this position, just looking to open up that hip. Let's go ahead and switch, next minute. If you don't have a bench or box, you could always go to the floor and do an elevated, or do a pigeon on the floor. You would just prop yourself up on the palms and push away from the floor slightly. Notice that my right knee is off the bench or box just because my right side's a little bit tighter. You don't have to force it down. If you want, you can always add an ab mat or a cushion underneath there or a block to kind of relax it a little bit. You can also actively push away. So sometimes I'll lean into the box. Notice that I shift my weight forward. I'll push my leg into the box, so I'm kind of contracting or engaging my glute muscle, my hip rotators to press away from the box. That contract release will actually be helpful for opening your hip and glute. So again, I hold this for 1 minute on each side. I've done lots of mobility over the years. I found that it's been a very big precursor for myself to be able to stay away from injuries or limit issues with my body. Good, and let's go ahead and switch. We're gonna go back to the left leg, and now we're gonna do some rotations with this elevated pigeon. So this exercise I actually got from Sam Briggs back in 2014. We were training together. We're gonna have a minute here, but we're gonna rotate. We're gonna have our left knee in front. We're gonna reach our right hand in front of that knee, and then I'm gonna come back. So when I did them, when I was training with Sam down in LA in 2014, we were prepping for the games. These were some of the exercises that she had been introduced to for her hip. This was specifically one of them, and I absolutely loved it because you get the dynamic component of this stretch. So as you rotate, you reach further away, kind of hinging and even reaching further down. You can come close to the floor or close to the box as much as possible. But again, we did a good set number of reps. Here we're just focusing on doing these for a minute. We're gonna do this on both sides. So again, that same position with our elevated pigeon, but now adding the dynamic component in. It has been a very long day. I got up super early this morning, then went back to sleep, and then got up again a little earlier, 5 o'clock. And let's switch legs. Same thing, dynamically rotating towards that opposite side. Push the arm forward or reach the arm forward while we're here. Again, 1 minute while you're following along or listening or watching. If you're not live and you're watching this later, feel free to follow along as you guys do this. The intention of these mobility videos and sessions is to help guide you and give you guys some information and feedback, education, and hopefully some inspiration to do some mobility every single day. I know they've been helping me. I've been sitting a lot, and I can feel it because my back starts to get a little tweaky when I go to do workouts if I've been sitting too much. So anyways, rambling, long story short, doing these with Sam has been huge help for my body. Got up super early, went to the gym, did a workout. It was really tough. Felt my back about to go, and I told myself I definitely need to stretch more because I'm not giving myself enough self-care, self-love that I need. Good. Awesome. Now we're going to come on out of it. Good. So that's the bench box that I use for those exercises. Now we're going to change it up a little bit, and we're going to go to a band. So if you guys have a band, specifically one of those like thigh bands. This is a slingshot band that I got from Margaux. Rogue has them. I'll put a link in the description. You can check them out. But we are going to put this through our legs. So it's right above the knee. Now, we're not going to focus on repetitions or minute rotations, excuse me. We're going to focus more on repetitions here. So I'm hopefully trying to show you guys a good angle where you can kind of see my head and you can kind of see my legs. So it might be cut off a little bit, but from here, we are gonna do 10 rotations from the out coming in. So I'm gonna lift my leg, bring it out to in, and we're gonna do that 10 times. So only thing I'm bringing the knee up and around. We've done a similar exercise like this before. I've shared on here. They call them fire hydrants sometimes, where you're bringing the leg out and around. You're in a tabletop position. So this is changing this a little position a little bit, but I'm looking for that internal rotation, meaning I'm going out to in. I think I have about one more. Counting and talking at the same time is hard. Now we'll switch, left leg out to in. So I'm looking to stabilize on my bottom leg, and I'm looking to rotate with my opposite leg, trying to get the knee as high as possible, but at the same time also scoop it in to get a little bit of that rotation going in. One more. Good. Now I'm going in to out. So we're gonna come in, scoop out. This is allow us to work on that external rotation of that hip joint. Now, if you feel like you can't move around or you have a problem moving around, you can always stabilize with your hand or bench on a box. I think that was almost 10, maybe an extra one. Been using my fingers to count as I talk. Now we're gonna switch opposite leg. So again, moving from in to out, working the balance stability. I'm a little unstable on this side compared to my other side, but again, the intention is to work both sides. I always like to do one leg, then the other leg, then go back to the other leg, and then come back to the original leg. I think we have one more. Good. Now this is where we're going to do the time frame. So if you haven't watched your clock, go ahead and lap it again. So you do lap. We are going to scoop. Knee comes in, kind of like think of wax on, wax off. I'm bringing the leg in, and I'm trying to focus on pushing the knees out as I scoop out. Now I'm facing you guys for demonstration, but you can always go away, always go in the same direction. So instead of me going backwards, you would continue to walk forward with that scooping. Again, we're gonna do a minute here. The intention of this, if I show from the side, is to be in a quarter squat position. So my butt's pushed back, knee is forward, I come in and scoop out, in and scoop out. So again, if I'm showing you guys how I would do it naturally versus not on my camera, I would walk, right? If I get to the end of my wall, I'll turn around and same thing. In to out, in to out. And then continue. We have about 15 more seconds. So the intention of this is to activate your glute hip rotators, get those muscles moving. I usually really focus on making sure I get these in when I do them with squats, deadlifts, cleans, snatches, whether it's power or full. Good, we're about a minute. Now we're gonna do a side step. So I'll show you guys from the side position. I'm gonna take a nice big step out, keep my knees tracking over my toes as I do steps. So big step out, small step in with my opposite leg. Again, 1 minute here. Then I switch. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll do 30 seconds out one way, then 30 seconds back the other way, facing the same wall. So that obviously allows me to get the same attention to that leg. So showing you guys from the front, big step out, small step in, big step out, small step in. And then again, same thing as I walk the other direction. We have another 20 seconds, 15, 20 seconds. So I wanna make sure I'm in that quarter squat position, pushing the butt back. Back is nice and flat. If you don't have one of these bands, you could always try to wrap a band probably 2 to 3 times around the legs. It might be a little intense. If at any point you don't have a band, you can always do them without the band. Just be very cognizant of what you're trying to do with those exercises. Good, let's go ahead and come on up. And we're gonna come out of that band. Good. So that last stretch we're gonna do is we're gonna come down to the ground. I'll just focus this down a little bit so you guys can see it. And this is gonna be the butterfly. This is the last stretch here. We're going a little longer, 9 minutes today. We're gonna lap. So I'm facing you guys kind of an angle. So I'm creating this butterfly stretch. I'm gonna grab my feet and I'm gonna pull myself forward. So this helps me open up my adductors. I just activate a lot of my glutes, but now I wanna stretch them out just slightly. So I'll do this dynamically in the sense where I push on one knee and I lean away, try to lift my chest. I feel this in my back, my spinal erectors, but also my hips. Then I switch. So I'm actively moving through this. We have about 30 seconds left. Again, holding, stretching, and again, moving dynamically. I can pull my feet closer to my groin too if I want more of an adductor stretch. Another way is to kind of actively pull the knees down. Notice that my knees are closer to the floor, and then I relax. Actively pull my knees down, and then relax. So I can do this kind of, again, the butterfly motion, if you want to call about it, in terms of the legs being pushed away and then pulled in. A couple more seconds, and relax. So those are a series of exercises that I always do for my hips on the box, and then coming off using my band. Again, this is a slingshot band, but you can find them on Rogue or the Smelly Bells website. Again, you want some of the resistance and tension so you can feel that. If you don't, you can do all the exercises without the band. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you loved it, go ahead and subscribe, like it, leave a comment below of what series you guys would like to do. I've done some shoulders, some hip, a little bit of combination, and I'd love to be able to provide something for you guys. If you're looking for more, you can click the link in the description below in terms of my app. You can get it for $1 for 30 days. It has a full mobility program. It also has a workout of the day program and a home program that you can follow. If you're looking for upper body strength, check out my pull-up program to help build your upper body and your core. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow before I take off for my trip.